April 11, 1944, began like many other mornings at Chelveston airfield in England. Cold air drifted across the runway as crews prepared their aircraft for another deep strike into Nazi-occupied Europe. First Lieutenant Edward S. Michael climbed into the cockpit of his B-17 Flying Fortress, aware that this was his 18th combat mission. 18 missions meant experience, but it also meant fatigue and danger. The target that day was Stettin, Germany, a heavily defended industrial city. Engines thundered as the bomber lifted off, leaving the safety of England behind. The formation tightened as they crossed the coastline and entered enemy airspace. Soon, the sky darkened with exploding flak shells. Steel fragments slammed into the aircraft, shaking it violently. Then the fighters appeared, the German interceptors diving with deadly precision. Cannon fire ripped through the fuselage. The co-pilot was struck and killed instantly. Michael felt a crushing blow as his right thigh shattered from shrapnel. Warning lights flashed across the cockpit. The rudder control cables were severed. 2 engines burst into flames and died. The B-17 staggered, wounded and barely controllable, yet it refused to fall. Smoke filled the cockpit and the smell of burning metal spread through the aircraft. The bomber could no longer keep formation or reach its target. Michael understood the reality within seconds. The mission was over, but survival was not guaranteed. He gave the order every pilot hates to give: abandon the aircraft. One by one, the crew prepared to jump. Each man knew that bailing out over Germany meant capturia or worse. Still, they obeyed. 9 crewmen leapt onto the open sky. Parachutes opened like white flowers against the dark air below. But one man remained trapped inside the bomber. His parachute had been destroyed during the attack. He had no escape. Michael was bleeding heavily, struggling to stay conscious. Pain blurred his vision, but not his purpose. If he bailed out now, the remaining crewmen would die. So Michael stayed, alone in a crippled aircraft. He fought the controls with fading strength. Every second in the air was a victory over gravity and death. The damaged B-17 drifted through enemy skies, slow and exposed. Without rudder control, every correction demanded strength Michael barely had. Blood soaked his flight suit as time slipped away. The engines coughed, threatening to fail completely. Below, enemy territory waited. Above, the empty sky offered no mercy. Yet Michael refused to give up. His only mission now was to save one last life. History would later remember this moment not for the target destroyed, but for the courage shown when everything had already gone wrong. A wounded pilot who stayed at the controls when escape was possible. A man who placed responsibility above survival. In the chaos of war, such choices define heroes. April 11, 1944. Became more than a date. It became proof that true bravery is measured not by victory, but by sacrifice in the face of certain laws.